No surprise here, Daniel Penny is out on bail. Being that he can afford a lawyer, he is obviously able to afford bailing out until his next court date.
11 days after Jordan Neely died from a chokehold in the subway, the man accused in his death appeared before a judge. Daniel Penny was freed from custody hours after paying his $100,000 bond back on May 1st. The
$100,000? Quite a penny.
Marine veteran was seen on video using a chokehold on Jordan Neely. Neely's death sparked days of protest through the city streets and in the subway. Penny is now charged with second-degree manslaughter after turning himself in today.
We have team coverage on today's court appearance. Christy Kalishian was at a news conference with Jordan Neely's family and attorneys. Let's start today, though, with Jennifer Bisram, who is live outside court in Lower Manhattan. Jennifer?
Maurice and Christine, Daniel Penny surrendered early this morning to authorities. He was then brought here to the Manhattan Criminal Courthouse where he was arraigned on that manslaughter charge. The judge listened to prosecutors, listened to his attorney, and then granted him bail. Marine veteran Daniel Penny surrendered to authorities Friday morning at the 5th Police Precinct in Manhattan to face a second-degree manslaughter charge in the chokehold death of Jordan Neely. The 24-year-old left the police precinct in cuffs with his attorneys.
He did so voluntarily and with the sort of dignity and integrity that is characteristic of his history of service to this grateful nation.
He was later arraigned at the Manhattan Criminal Court, where he waived the reading of his charges and was not required to enter a plea.
Why didn't he enter a plea? It's because the grand jury hasn't yet indicted him, and the prosecutor, plan to bring this before a grand jury.
During the arraignment, Penny's attorneys told the judge Penny has been cooperating with police and the district attorney's office, has strong ties to New York City, attends a four-year college, and is pursuing a bachelor's degree in architecture, enlisted in the Marine Corps when he was a teen, and spent 4 years there before he was honorably discharged.
But that doesn't mean he was justified in murdering a person. Just because you have like a good record or something doesn't mean your murder of a person is justified.
They also said Penny earned multiple medals and ribbons for good conduct while serving. The judge granted bail, which was set at $100,000, and Penny walked out of the courthouse with his attorneys by his side.
Well, yeah, I guess the arguments was so that he's able to, get released on bail, showing that, he's a good person and he's not going to run away.
We know it's second-degree manslaughter that the prosecutors want, but the grand jury is really going to have to agree or disagree with that.
Penny is seen on video restraining 30-year-old Jordan Neely with a chokehold on a New York City subway on May 1st. Neely later died and his death was ruled a homicide. Witnesses say Neely, who was homeless and a familiar Michael Jackson impersonator on subway platforms, was acting erratically, threatening subway riders and screaming before Penny tried to subdue him. Since, Neely's supporters have been taking over streets and subway platforms, calling for an arrest and more to be done for New Yorkers struggling with mental health. Legal experts say the grand jury has a lot to consider.
Did, number one, Mr. Penny act recklessly in causing the death of Neely? And number two, did he have a self-defense, and was his self-defense proportional?
No, his self-defense wasn't proportional because Jordan Neely wasn't trying to kill people, and he could have easily subdued the person without putting him into a chokehold. He didn't have to put his arm around his neck. He could have just grabbed his arms and held him down or something. Don't even have to be on top of a person to subdue them.
Meaning, did Mr. Neely present any danger that was risk of death to either Penny or someone else? And if he didn't, that self-defense goes out the window.
And Penny is due back in court on July 17th. Again, he is being charged with second-degree manslaughter. If convicted, he could face up to 15 years in prison. We're live in Lower Manhattan.